The depressive realism of stoicism. Created by Sisyphus55.
It's a common sentiment many of us carry around in our heads throughout the day. Perhaps it strikes our hearts late at night or after we have finally achieved something we've worked really hard at. All of this is meaningless.
And?
All of it will end.
But like...
The cliche, we're just apes rocketing through space on a watery rock, leaves us in a state of existential despair.
In a way, does thinking that way is kind of like reductionism. You know, when you take a concept and you put it way too simple. Like, I feel, yeah, I get it, the point, but at the same time, thinking that way is too, like, reductionist about existence and life. And so it's like, yeah, I get it, but at the same time, be careful to not be like reductionist about it, you know? Yes, it's just apes on a rock, but it's also more than apes on a rock too.
This matters,
you know?
So why even try? Cue several days of sleeping in, scrolling on our phones, and avoiding work. Small acts of desperate escape to bide the time until we can float peacefully into our unburdened deaths. At least, there we will be unaware of the fact that this was all a giant waste of time.
Again!
For the Roman Emperor...
It's the way you see it! Where are you leaving? I'm leaving to my house! And leaving the stream! Okay, I've got friends. Okay, wait, I'm watching this. I need to finish. So, it's also the way you see it. Like, if you see existence through the lens that it's going to do nothing... For sure you're going to be depressed. But is that not what you want? Like, I get it, it's a perspective. But again, you don't want to be reductionist about how you see things. You know, you try to...
And Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius, he would argue that we're just halfway there. To carry this perspective, this view from above that sees the earth as a pale blue dot, or to embrace this ability to strip all things to their nakedness, is an important
what's up, Anna?
Living stoically.
I'm watching The Subtle Art of Not Caring, the philosophy of Marcus Aurelius and Stoicism. I've got the book of Marcus Aurelius too. I haven't read it yet. Well, let's see what he says. I'm going to end this because I want to make it a video.
Important to
a reaction, so
also many
we'll talk after.
Far too attached to people, to fame, to material things. They allow the transient.
Okay, I'm sorry, I got distracted. I forgot the point.
Is an important component to living stoically. It's important to remember that there are also many who become far too attached to people, to fame, to material things. They allow the transient and shallow to dictate their happiness.
But at the same time, yeah, you get attached to things. But the problem there is that it's the shallowness of it. You know? It's like, again, how much can you really say it's shallow when you need to just see it in a context, you know? Yeah, it's really shallow if you only look at it through one lens that make it really shallow and the emptiness being bad and like depressing. When, you know, it could just be neutral too. Like there's an attachment to the idea itself of nothingness. You know what I mean? Do you get it, Penna? It's like, yeah, you're attached to material things, but at the same time, you're attached to the idea that nothingness is bad too. You know what I mean? Do that make sense? I feel like, oh my god. It's like the idea itself that there's nothing and it's a bad thing. Thumbs up. Thank you, Panda. Thank you. The idea itself, well, I need to continue, okay? I need to finish my thought. So, the idea of shallowness and emptiness feels like we put judgment over it. That this emptiness and this shallowness is bad. But at the end of the day, isn't the reverse that there's no value to emptiness or shallowness, you know? As much as material things. And in that sense, striving for material things or fame or whatever is the same as No, it's not the same. I don't know where I'm going. I'm going to let the guy...
And spend most of their lives desiring and pursuing things that will never actually leave them satisfied.
Okay.
However...
So here, we're talking just, we search for the true happiness, the constant happiness of contentment, you know? And by this measure, you won't find contentment with material things or social status or whatever. Okay, fine. But it's just that in this perspective, seeing emptiness, what stays there, you know? When you took all of the surplus, all the material thing, all the social status, what's left? Nothing. And it's when you see that nothingness that I don't think people should see it as a problem or like judge it that it's like the emptiness, you know? It's like there's something about it, how you see that emptiness.
They also don't need to be in constant awareness of the insignificance of it all. You might, after some time, actually look at them enviously, wishing that you too could lose yourself in the silly toys and drama that is spread across our world.
Yeah.
Why is this a good thing, to be so aware? How could Marcus Aurelius, some old guy who had an amazing life as the most powerful person on the planet, possibly provide any useful perspective in the matter?
Marcus Aurelius was like the emperor of Rome, by the way, Panda. He wrote a journal about like his philosophy and like his daily problems with the world in his journal, and it's from the emperor itself, which is really cool. Ads. You know, that makes my existence worse.
No clue
Ads.
In 2023, the best way to make money on Amazon is not with physical.
Sponsor. Ads.
This video is sponsored by Brilliant. Hey there, do you ever find yourself stuck on a problem, wishing you had the tools to crack it wide open? Well, let me tell you about something that's been an absolute game changer for me.
What?
Brilliant is not just another online learning platform. It's a journey towards mastering problem-solving skills while actually enjoying the process. With Brilliant, you're not just memorizing facts, you're actively engaging your brain in critical thinking exercises that build a foundation for lifelong learning. Whether you're a student, a professional, or just someone who loves a good mental challenge, Brilliant has something for everyone. From interactive courses in math, science, and computer science to daily challenges that keep your mind sharp, Brilliant makes learning addictive. I've been really loving Brilliant's introduction to probability, which is perfect for learners of any level to start and continue learning data analysis with a fully built-out suite of new content, from Bayes' theorem to multiple linear regression. So if you're ready to unlock your full potential and become a problem-solving master, head over to Brilliant.org today.
20,000 million IQ
30 days.
incoming. So much mine. That's cool.
Also get 20%
Wait,
off
how old is that comment? I'm sorry.
Aurelius was actually known as one of the best emperors, largely due to his moral integrity and self-discipline. As the historian Herodian writes, alone of the emperors, he gave proof of his learning not by mere words or knowledge,
by action,
philosophical doctrines, but by his blameless character and temperate way of life.
Never mind.
What is of interest to you, dear angsty viewer, is that Aurelius achieved such a reputation through carrying a sober perspective about life, one that involves a habitual meditation on death, the transience of things, and the insignificance of... And
which comes my point of being able to understand that it's not because everything is empty that's it's a bad thing. You know, I feel we need to get off this idea that emptiness and being monkeys on a floating rock is a bad thing. You know, it's like it's only seeing the problem to one lens, and it's only for some part, I feel, really, like I said, reductionist. Makes existence and the emptiness of it really reductionist. That, oh, it's only anguish, you know, that comes from it or something.
From this, he argued that there were only two ideas we should be concerned with: to act justly and to love that which is allotted to us. Aurelius
Values.
is concerned with three philosophical domains: the physical, the ethical, and the logical. Regarding the physical, Aurelius is mostly concerned with desire and diversions. To desire something is to deem it good and worthy of pursuing. However, as both you and Marcus Aurelius know, almost everything isn't quite as good as you expected. Desire is found to be, time and time again, a poor judge of what is good for you. And desire...
So basically, he's just saying that usually the things you're going to chase for, like material things or whatever, and our senses are often less than you expected. You know, that is going to say, oh, that ice cream you really want, yes, it's going to be good, but it's not as good as you would want, and that's why you keep wanting more afterwards.
Desire can even lead us into pursuing that which is bad for us. Hence, Aurelius argues that we should quench our desires as they can lead us down the wrong path. This is, in a sense, a natural extension of the understanding that we should erase impressions. The things of the world tend to leave their impressions upon us. Advertising tends to leave us with the impression that certain products will free us or make us happy.
And that desire, the thing that you're expecting from a certain thing, is just that by itself. How can I say it? Wait. I need to pause. I need to think for a second. How can I say it? So there's things in this world that you're going to chase, but those things usually are not as good as you expected, and because of that, that's why you keep chasing. I don't know. This video is going to be suck for React.
We cynically know that the new smartphone or shoes will not bring us enlightenment, the impressions still hold their pull, and due to our brief infatuation with things, we will likely give in. However, Aurelius suggests that we should strip such objects naked. The smartphone is merely an object of metal and lights that could distract us from that.
Yeah, but how much can you say that the feelings you get from these objects are like there? I feel it's like, yeah, this iPhone by itself is just a piece of metal that gives information, but the fact that we have feelings towards it and it gives us a reaction, and those reaction and emotion are the one that drives you. I'm lost in my.
Really
I lost my thought.
He uses this in terms of other objects of desire, such as sex and food, which could be seen as simply the friction of flesh or the consumption of a once living cow. As he writes, erase the false impressions from your mind by constantly saying to yourself, I have it in my soul to keep out any evil, desire, or any kind of disturbance. Instead, seeing the true nature of things, I will give them only their due. Always remember this power that nature gave you.
Erase a false impression from your mind by constantly saying to yourself, I have it in my soul to keep out any evil, desire of any kind, disturbance. Instead, seeing it's just the desire part. Like, I am still not understanding how desires are fundamentally bad. Like, I get it, desires are the thing that always going to make you like want more, but at the same time, it's like the same way you play a game for the level, and not the game, but like it's just desires. Like, maybe I don't get it, but why having desires is the thing that makes you less happy and content. I just feel because of the nature of feelings, good feelings are going to be what bring you happiness, and bad feelings what brings you down. I'm not saying that you should connect with yourself with your bad feelings, because they are a part of like living, but always desires a bad thing. Like chasing for money, I understand. Okay. It's just because once you have your desire, he's saying once you have it, you won't be content. It's going to pass. But at the same time, why present fun is not a chase? You know, I feel both can coexist. You can have like a deeper contentment with the world, and you can have a short-term desire with the world. You know? Do I make sense? I don't make sense.
These insights that break down the significance or
Yeah, he's like me right now.
of certain objects are the same insights that the depressed and existentially discontent individual already has the power to tap into. They are able to engage in reality, and if given the right tools, they may even be able to waste less time oriented towards the things that are...
Is it just choose the right desires? Is it just a thing like that? Like, desires are the thing you want to chase, but the right ones. There's just desires that's going to bring less contentment than other desires. It's just that maybe it's that. I feel they talk like every desires is bad. When I feel maybe the thing that people could like, it's just certain desires are better than others. The desires to always do drugs or always like chase maybe money or whatever is like, maybe those type of desires are less fulfilling. But I still believe that some desires really bring happiness, and chasing those type of desires are going to actually make you more happy. It's just to choose what desires you want. You get it, Pena?
Dead ends.
And again, it's like that's why the perspective of emptiness as a bad thing can get really depressing, because if you're at that point, all the surplus all become irrelevant when the surplus can still be utilized for yourself. You know, like I said, we go back to desires. Yes, I agree, some desires are like, yeah, I beat Vitor Amelia. What? Yeah? Who's Vitor Amelia? You know, that's a desire that I guess, I don't, let's take that, you beat Vitor Amelia, the desire is going to make you happy for a while, but in like 2 days, this feeling is going to disappear, and you'll want to be the second boss. And in 10 years, you'll never be happy. So it comes from that, but there's certain desires, they're like, the fact that you cannot achieve them, but they're still there. Hey, blessing, but good job, Panda. Good job. Proud of you. Proud of you.
This is reminiscent of depressive realism, the hypothesis proposed by Alloy and Abramson that argues that the negative bias found in depressed individuals makes them more likely to make accurate judgments. Such a claim has been backed.
But that's the thing. Accurate judgments. You're still human. You're not a machine yet. You know? For now, seeing things as they're real as they aren't going to make you more happy, I think. And that's why I think this work is really important. You need to understand and go through those phases. But at the end of the day, maybe going through some desires are not bad. You know? Like seeing stuff as they are. Yes, it's like in some way really respectful, but again, it's a desire, or you want to see things as they are. You want to see things as they really are, even if you're depressed. There's still a desire there, you know? It's like at the end of the day, I don't think you can escape from desires. Maybe I don't get it, but it's like even that emptiness. It's like the fact you get really anguished by it. It's like the desire that you want more. Or maybe they're right. Maybe like that's a desire too. You know? The fact that you want the world to be less than the nothingness. That's a desire too. But I feel it's again that desire of wanting more than emptiness. that's going to strive you more to like actual happiness and like the right desires that's going to fit your character. Good job on beating Vitor.
By studies that show depressed patients as being more accurate in causal attribution.
Personality of social psychology.
And
wait, I need to get this
social
thing.
events
I need to
than
find this.
non-depressed patients. And were also more accurate in self-ratings of their performance on a series of tasks. Of course, this really isn't an endorsement of being depressed. Rather, I think that you shouldn't get so down on yourself and life if you're able to.
But at the same time, could we say, maybe, perhaps, that going through this road of almost like the desire of wanting things as they are, going to bring you closer to the real desires you want. The one that's going to bring you happiness. Again, find the desires that are going to bring true happiness, not less happiness. And in some way, that's why money and stuff like that, you need a basis, but that's where it falls off. After a certain time, the desire of money is not going to be enough. And that's why you need bigger or better desires. At the end of the day, we shouldn't judge desires, but more maybe put them on a scale. And some desires are like, for anyone, I don't know, man.
See through the illusions. Such an insight, although initially filled with despair, should be seen as an avenue towards orienting yourself into that which you do find happiness and meaning within.
Again, there's the why am I stuck on desires? Because I feel he was saying like desire.
To do this, one must engage with another component of Aurelius's philosophy, that one's anxiety and despair is not caused by things per se, but rather our own thoughts about such things. Things cannot touch the mind. And if you know that these things, the opinions of others, material objects...
So yeah, it's just the way you perceive things. The way you're going to see a desire. Well, could you say some desires are like still more well made for individual consumption? Some desires are like just, they feel better to like go through once you find them and you're really able to use them. Maybe desires should just be tools for people more than like stuff they need to like try to suppress. Just need to find desire, the right one, the right
all insignificant, then it shouldn't really be that difficult of a task to end your despair over them. They don't matter. And now comes the task of caring for that which does matter. In terms of Aurelius, a man dedicated to seeing through the shiny false promises of fame and power, he was able to
which would be desires are less fundamentally fun to go for. And to really understand, you need to go through, see stuff as they are. You know? It's like, I don't think you can really learn to someone that those things are bad. They need to like learn them themselves.
Orient himself towards an idea of the good life that many would suggest he had achieved. If you set yourself to your present task along the path of true reason, with all determination, vigor, and goodwill, if you admit no distraction but keep your own divinity pure and standing strong, as if you had to surrender it right now, if you grapple this to you, expecting nothing, shirking nothing, but self-content with each present action taken in accordance with nature and a heroic truthfulness in all that you say and mean, then...
Is it just big words to just say...
will lead a good life.
It's just say, search for the right desire. And really question your desires. Is that it?
Nobody is able to stop you.
Anyways, thanks for that, Sisyphus. So good. So good. Your videos are so good. I'm gonna react to it. Hopefully, I'm not... yeah. But anyways, that's an opinion. I do not know anything about this world. I know nothing. This is an opinion.